Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends. It's your buddy BoogeyMan Ben here for a new episode of BoogeyMan Ben's Horror Zone. And this is going to be a series of 10 videos that I'm going to be doing leading up to Halloween. What I wanted to do this year is something I've wanted to do in years past, but just never had the time. And I have done retrospectives on this series before. I did a series of retrospective videos back in 2011. I also did a kind of a really quick run through of my ratings on my old rating system back in 2013 on the Halloween films for a YouTuber named Michael Voorhees. And what I wanted to do here is just talk about the Halloween franchise a little bit more in depth, more so to why I love the film series so much. Given its flaws, there's really no film in this series that I absolutely don't like. My opinions have changed on some of the films over the course of my lifetime, when I first saw them, and then as I got older, revisiting them, and I'll talk about that in great detail as well. But again, this is going to be a series of 10 videos that I will be uploading off and on leading up until Halloween. So I hope everyone looks forward to this, and like I said, I'm going to be spending some time with each film, not so much going into a lot of details that I've already covered in other videos, but just talking about what each individual film means to me, and whether or not my opinion of the film has changed over the course of time, if I like it more, if I like it less. But I'm really excited to talk about this series, one of the most important horror film series of my lifetime, and I hope everyone looks forward to this video series. So today, of course, we are going to be starting with the original, the classic, the one and only, and I love this box set. I've showcased this a few times before, but this is the box set that Scream Factory put out back in 2014. This is just a amazing box set of all 10 Halloween films. But like I said, we are going to be starting with over here for a second. John Carpenter's classic original Halloween film, written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, and just an amazing film in and of itself. I mean, it was a very independent film. It was one that changed the game for the horror genre. I mean, as much as I love the Friday the 13th franchise, the Friday the 13th franchise would not exist without this one, because Friday the 13th is pretty much a direct ripoff of the original Halloween. But I love this film 100%. This is one of my main go-tos during the Halloween season. It is a film that I watch year-round. I love John Carpenter. He is probably in my top 5 of favorite film directors. His direction on this film is absolutely fantastic. It's just so well done. I love the acting in it. Jamie Lee Curtis was like her first really big role. And she is phenomenal as Laurie Strode. I absolutely love her. She's just fantastic in it. You really buy that she's kind of this nerdy girl that has a lot of sort of repressed a little bit, and then you have her friends Linda and Annie, who are just the complete opposites, and she kind of covers for them, and they're the ones that are doing that are doing drugs and partying with boys, and she's the one watching the kids next door. I love that, and I feel like, and Jamie Lee Curtis has said in interviews that she was much more like Linda and Annie in real life than she was like Laurie. But I really feel like it comes off as believable that she was Laurie Strode, and she does a fantastic job. I can't say enough great things about her. Also, PJ Soles as Linda and Nancy Loomis as Annie. I love both of them. I had the honor of meeting PJ Soles last year. Sweetest woman I've ever met. Wonderful person, and I love her performance in this film. A lot of people did the totally and all that stuff. She's just awesome. And I really like Nancy Loomis. I think she is a great actress, and I am glad that she did some other John Carpenter films like The Fog, and she was also in Halloween 3. Yeah, she's fantastic in it. My favorite performance in the film has got to be Donald Pleasence, though, as Dr. Loomis. Huge fan of the guy. Absolutely love the Loomis character. He's one of my favorite horror film characters of all time. And Donald Pleasence just owns every scene he's in. The dialogue that he recites in this film when he's talking about Michael Myers is still terrifying. When he talks about the devil's eyes and the blackest eyes. And I love that speech that he gives to Sheriff Brackett, again, played by the amazing Charles Cyphers, who is, again, fantastic in this film. And just the tension in this film, the way it's shot, the music is just amazing by John Carpenter. And it's funny because my grandmother is really the one that got me into this film. And I've talked about my grandmother before. And my grandmother really loved the Dr. Loomis character. She felt frustrated by the fact that no one was listening to him. And he was right. He was right about what he was saying. He was right about the fact that, you know, this was going to be happening in Haddonfield, and the fact that no one was listening to him. My grandmother just really, for some reason, was drawn to him. I always said that she had a crush on him or something like that, and she always laughed about that. But because of her, I really am tied to that character, and that's why Dr. Loomis is my favorite character. Absolutely love the character of Michael Myers, though, especially the way that Nick Castle portrayed him here. I know that Tommy Lee Wallace, and at one point, even Deborah Hill portrayed the Shape. But, you know, I will always, and Tony Moran also played the Shape in the unmasking scene, but I will always associate Michael Myers with Nick Castle. And I really love his performance. It's very, there's ways that he moves that is very creepy. And just the way that he sits up in scenes, like when he sits up in the back seat of the car when Andy's leaving to go get Paul, and he just sits up real quick. Just almost like robotic the way he does it, and I just really it's terrifying. And mixed in with John Carpenter's music, it's just flawless to me. But yeah, I love this film. Just a fantastic film. A complete, you know, you have to watch this at Halloween time. This is just, it's almost like, you know, this is a prerequisite for Halloween. You have to watch this film. Can't say enough great things about it. Everybody in the film is fantastic. The cast, the crew, the writing in this is great. The music in this is fantastic. Easily, the original John Carpenter's classic Halloween gets 5 skulls. So that is my thoughts on John Carpenter's classic Halloween. I'm going to be doing videos on each film in the Halloween series leading up to Halloween. I will be releasing 1 or 2 of these a week. I'm kind of curious to see what other people think about this series and, you know, my reviews of the film. Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Would love to hear from everyone. And stay tuned for my review of Halloween 2, which will be coming up real soon. So thanks everyone so much for watching. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace.